We're back and having more fun than the law allows. I'm glad you can't hear what goes on during the breaks. It's just way too funny.
Yes.
And we're back at 6:45 and 77 degrees, and we promised Brigitte would be here, and she is. It's always good to see Brigitte, and she's been on numerous times, and there's always something happening at the Montessori school.
You bet. Thanks
now,
for having me, Dave.
I told the viewers that when you came on, I was going to try to officially learn how to pronounce your last name. Ufele?
Hufele.
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 Am I close? Ufele.
It's the O with the two dots. It's
okay, so the H is silent.
The H.
Just like the W sounds like a V in vodka.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
okay. Okay, well, that out of the way, we're here to talk to Brigitte. That was just a little side note there. It's so good to see you, but I know there's something exciting happening because you're always here when there is something exciting happening. So tell us about it.
I should be here every day then.
There you go. We'll just come back and you be the co-host part. I'll leave. You can be the host.
Okay, that's fine.
What's going on at Montessori?
Oh, there's a lot going on. We just wrapped up summer program last Friday, July 29th was our last day of the summer program. We have in-service week this week. After I leave here, I go to school and you know, wrap things up there and try to get things up and running for the new school year. And then next Monday, we're going to have
kicks off, yeah.
I mean, it just goes, you know.
So does your school year kind of correspond with the public schools?
No.
Okay.
No, not really.
Okay. Well, that was a good yes.
We do our own little thing.
You do your own little thing. I didn't know if you specifically tried to go parallel to the city.
And it does go parallel somewhat. Now, are we closed on all the snow days? No.
Okay.
That's why we don't try to follow it as, you know, to stick to the calendar of the school year.
Interesting point. You get a lot of snow in Germany. How do they handle the snow there?
Exactly. Well, we handle it. We have a whole lot of snow trucks, and, you know, we have the equipment because it really when it snows, it snows.
Right.
And you know,
it don't mess around. It snows.
No. Yeah, and you know what? There's no wrong weather. There's only wrong clothes. You better get your stuff on. You go outside and you try to recover your car. And, you know, we lived in Munich and it was snowing so hard our car was covered. Well, all of the cars on the street were covered in snow. I thought that's going to be my car over there. And shoveled it. I should have shoveled the license plate first to check if it was mine. It wasn't mine.
Your neighbor loved you.
Oh, he did. I'm sure he did.
You did a good deed.
I did.
That's the way it is in the Midwest where I come from, up in Nebraska and Kansas, in that area. When it snows, it snows. And I've dug the car out many a time. I mean, all you could see was a hump. And you thought, there's a car under there somewhere. I hope it's mine. And it was. But that's the way it is in Germany. But here we don't deal with that a whole lot. So
no, and we don't have the equipment, and people don't have the winter tires on their cars. And driving is just, you know, I know how to drive in snow. I was taught how to drive in snow. But here it's just, I'm not afraid of my driving skills. I'm afraid of the other people.
So the Montessori school doesn't get too concerned about snow days then?
No, but you know, we keep it safe, and if our staff is not safe, cannot drive safe down their driveway or up our driveway or on the streets, then we close for a day or two. But that's it. So we don't follow the school's calendar, the city or county schools calendar that closely. But we are a year-round school, and we had summer program for 2.5 months. And now we're starting the school year again.
Kicking off the fall.
Yeah, kicking off the fall with 55 students and 13 staff members.
What are the ages of your students?
Our youngest right now is 6 months. We take them as young as 3 months.
Wow.
And our oldest is 8 years. We go through 9 years. We go through 3rd grade.
Okay.
So we have 3 classrooms. We have a pre-primary classroom, which is the 0 to 3-year-olds. We have a primary classroom, the 3 to 6-year-olds, and we have a lower elementary classroom that goes through 3rd grade.
Wow. So you've really grown since you started. What year was that when you started?
We started in 2005, January of 2005, with 3 kids.
Yeah. Wow.
And now we got 55.
That is fantastic.
Is it just word of mouth, or do you think it's just the influx of people coming into the community looking for a different alternative as far as educating their children? I mean,
it's a mix. It's a good mix of all. First of all, when I started the school here and I did my business plan before I started, I knew there was a demand. We didn't have a Montessori school. You know, there's one down in Chattanooga that's got over 250 students. There are several up in Knoxville. So I visited them and I talked to them, and they said, yeah, I think there is a demand in Cleveland. We don't really know. It's hard for us to tell how big of a demand. And then I started it, and I started to market the school, and I had to do a whole lot of explaining. What is Montessori? You know, some people say, "Oh, it's a monastery school." So you know, I had to start from Maria Montessori. Back, you know, 100 years ago, of what she did and how it started, and I started educating the community of what Montessori is, and now that I got over 6 years in, the word's really gotten around, and that's my biggest marketing tool.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yep.
If you have parents that see what you do with their child, that spreads like a wildfire, and that's good. So yes, it is a good mix of was there a demand, an influx of newcomers coming into this area. I've had several people that moved here with, I mean, even Amazon now that have looked at the area that said, we come from Seattle, we moved here from Seattle. Our child went to Montessori school there. We're looking for Montessori school. Like you said, Montessori schools are all over the place.
Yeah. I saw one in Florida this week. It was a huge campus. I have no idea how big it was student-wise, but it was a huge campus. And so they're obviously very popular in many parts of the country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Montessori is a big community, and anyone can start a Montessori school. It's not a franchise. It is a method of teaching. So if you understand the method of teaching, if you have taken the teaching degree, which is a 3-year teaching degree, then you understand what Montessori is. And it's a mindset. You also have to know how to work with the Montessori materials that you have in the classroom. It's very hands-on. You have a lot of materials that the children are able to manipulate. Now, the children are not able to work with those materials if they don't have a guidance in the classroom that will show them how to work with the materials. By working with those materials, the children create an image in their brain, and they can later retrieve that image and work with it just from the image that they've made. Handling it, grasping the concept.
What would you say is the biggest difference between a public education, you know, going to a Bradley County school or a Cleveland City school, as opposed to a Montessori school?
That's a good question. The biggest difference between Montessori and traditional schools, in a traditional school you have a group of children, you have a teacher, and the teacher lectures on the lecture of the day to the children. In a Montessori school you have many more teachers, and you have the teacher that sees the individual child and works with the individual child on where they're at in their development. Because we have 3-year-olds that read and write, and we have 5-year-olds that have a hard time. You know, it's not about us saying they're talented or they're not talented, they're gifted, they're not gifted, they're great, they're not great. It's each child is different. Each child learns different. Each child is different in their development. We have children that excel in math. We have children that do language better. You know, it's not about good or bad or about judging them where they're at. It's about who they are and seeing the need and reaching out to that need and fostering that need.
So it's more one-on-one.
It's a lot of one-on-one.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds like Montessori is maybe a little more attuned to finding the student's individual gifting and helping to develop that particular area of expertise in that child.
Rather than not necessarily the gifting, but making sure that all the other academics are leveled out in the child, that we give the child all academic information that we can provide, because a child that is gifted will easily, you know, if a child reads at age 3, they're easily going to read throughout their whole life. But it's making sure that all the other academics are given to that child as well, and that it's a content child in all areas.
Now you go through grade 3. Now talk about the transition from there to another school.
Montessori, if your child is in a Montessori school for more than 3 years, the child has already developed this love for learning. They learn, especially in lower elementary, they learn how to research. They learn that the teacher is my friend. The teacher is there to help me to help myself. That's the big Montessori slogan, help me to help myself. So once the child has been in a Montessori setting for 3 years, they've already developed that love for learning, and they've developed the knowledge of school's fun. And that is huge. That is a foundation that no one can take away from that child. So once the child leaves, say that they graduate at 3rd grade from our school and go to public elementary school, not a problem. You know, by then that child has made so many images by manipulating the materials that he or she can easily retrieve all that information and work with it.
So really what you're creating is just a very strong foundation early in that child's life to appreciate education and to maximize the opportunity to excel.
That's right.
Yeah.
Give them a running start, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they hit the ground running when they get into public school.
Yes.
Wow.
And they've, you know, a lot of children don't want to go to school. I've had several children that didn't come to my summer program where the parents call me midsummer, and this happens every year over and over again, midsummer, and say, "Can my child come to your school for the rest of the summer program?" Because they want to come back to school.
Oh, really?
They want to come back to school. We went on vacation down to Naples, Florida.
Yeah.
My husband and I in June with the kids. And by the 4th day down in Naples, the girls said, we don't want to go to the beach anymore. We're bored. So I looked for some camps, and there are 3 Montessori schools down in Naples. So I found a camp, and I came home. I said, "Girls, I found a camp for you." They said, "We're going to go to school." Yes.
Wow. We need more of that.
And that's, you know, that's the typical Montessori child. I get to learn. Yes.
That's
great.
fantastic. Wow.
That's great.
Wow.
But speaking of the influx of the community or of the industry in this community, you know, there is a huge we have a huge international influx at Montessori Kinder. We've enrolled many children, German background, Austrian background. And we have some children from where the parents are from Peru and other Latino countries. But our school is here for the community. These people are coming and they're leaving again. Our school is here to stay, and this, you know, having such a quality school is key for our community. And we're raising these children that then eventually become leaders in one of the industries here.
Right.
The industry is just going to grow.
It sure is.
Absolutely. It's not going to go back.
Yeah, it's looking great. Well, something new that we haven't talked about is the German Saturdays?
School.
The school. So talk
Saturday
about
school.
that.
Well, the German Saturday School is one of my other hats.
Okay, you wear several.
I am part of the Mosaic, the Ocoee Region Multicultural Services.
Yeah.
And we have started an extended language program there a few years back, and under that umbrella we have the German Saturday School, which is it's a school for children from age 4 to 17 who want to either learn the German language, who maybe take German at Walker Valley or Cleveland High, and want to go a little bit more in depth, or for the expat children that come to town, or for the children like my children that want to upkeep their German language.
Sure.
We focus on the oral and the written language skills, also literature, but also the culture. So when we gather on a Saturday morning, under Lisa Yulo being the teacher, who's a French and German teacher at Walker Valley, we also have a German breakfast with boiled eggs and cold cuts and cheese and you know, everything.
I love a German breakfast.
You know, that's so important, because I know I immigrated to the States at a young age. And when I did, I didn't have a support system, so to speak. I felt so misplaced. And it was just me and my sisters and my mom and dad, and in a strange country. So I think that's just great that you're keeping them grounded in their culture.
Yeah. Children, some parents want that for their children. Most parents want that for their children. me as a mom of 2 girls, I want my children to stay aware of their German heritage,
sure.
to have the ability to go back to Germany and maybe go to school there. Or just visit with their grandma and grandpa, because they don't
sure.
speak any English.
Right, yeah. Being bilingual is just a great asset in today's world.
Right.
And it's getting more and more important here in our community, because we're seeing a lot of German immigrants, workers coming from around the world. You got Volkswagen, you got Wacker, and this, of course, is going to expand.
Exactly.
So this is
exactly. The German Saturday School is going to be certified by the German Department of Education. The certification is necessary for expat students, and also for the students here in the community who will go to the German Saturday School. But these children that come here, they will again leave after 2 or 4 years and go back to Germany to integrate back into their school system. They would need to show, you know, I've done German literature, I've upkept my German skills, and improved on my grammar and vocabulary during the time that I was in the States. It's not mandatory for the children in the elementaries and middle schools, but it becomes more important as they go back and reintegrate into their classrooms. I was one of those kids. I went to middle school in Maryland with my mom and dad when my mom and dad pastored a church there. And we went back to Germany. I had to, they put me back in 7th grade, although I should have gone almost to 9th grade because I didn't have the German skills anymore.
Oh, you lost that.
I lost that.
So that's extremely important. Well, that's something that you can find at the Montessori School and through Brigitte and her staff. That's great. We have to take a break, but tell us how to get a hold of you or people at the Montessori School.
Brigitte. Telephone number 479-7282, 479-7282, or World Wide Web, montessorikinder.com.
Montessori Kinder, K-I-N-D-E-R.
Mm-hmm.
And spell Montessori for those out there who don't know how.
M-O-N-T-E-S-S-O-R-I, montessorikinder.com.
2 S's in there. You see it
1
there, see it there on the screen. And we've been talking to Brigitte. It is always great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Give our best to your husband, Christian, and we'll have him on again, I'm sure, at some point in time. He also has something going all the time. 2 of the most active people I've ever met in my life, and we're excited to have you in the community. We really are. It is 7:03. Got to take a break. Back in a moment with some headline news, and we'll talk to author Mark Rogers. Don't go away. Well, that was good.
I'm Kathy Guy with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Call us today for all your personal insurance needs. With 28 years in the insurance business, I have the solutions and pricing you are looking for. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland, is your #1 Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep dealer in this area. Stop by and see the brand new 2011 Chrysler 200. The 200 is essentially a new nameplate with a significant facelift to the outgoing 2010 Chrysler Sebring. A beautiful vehicle at an unbeatable price. And while you're there, check out the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the newly designed Dodge Durango. Redesigned, revamped, and reinvigorated. Yes, the Dodge Durango is back, bigger and better than ever. Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep offers a complete parts and service department with qualified service technicians to fix and repair your vehicle. So for your next brand new or pre-owned vehicle, make it Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland.
I'm Dr. James Markham, host of the television program Heart of Health, seen right here on WTNB television, Thursday at 7 o'clock, Friday at 8 a.m. or Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
Volunteer Ridipest LLC has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding areas for over 40 years. Their qualified, experienced technicians are trained in all the latest techniques to keep your home pest-free. Volunteer Ridipest LLC offers Mosquito Guard, which keeps mosquitoes out of your yard and out of your life. Their monthly and quarterly treatments are backed by their 100% money-back guarantee. For all your pest removal needs, call Volunteer Ridipest LLC today at 423-472-7736.
How would you like to look and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Anti-Aging, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. He is a licensed physician with the Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, offering affordable Botox injections. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. In addition to Botox therapy, rejuvenate and smooth wrinkled skin with a Skin Micro Laser Peel. The Micro Laser Peel treats skin conditions associated with aging and active lifestyles. If you're looking for safe and affordable anti-aging treatment, call the Ford Center for Anti-Aging at 423-614-0535, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest.
Now's your chance to showcase your small business products or services. The Be Your Own Boss Expo is coming to Bradley Square Mall in Cleveland, Tennessee on Saturday, September the 17th. This expo will provide you with networking opportunities and services to help you grow your small business. Vendors will be able to connect with hundreds of potential clients without the high expense of advertising. If you own a small business in or around Cleveland, Tennessee, you do not want to miss this event. For more information, visit byobexpo.net or call 865-368-1095.
I want to thank Brigitte for coming in and telling us about the activities in Montessori School. It's 7:06. You're watching Tennessee Valley This Morning. I'm Dan Howell, your host, and we have our special guest coming up in just a moment. But first, find out what's going on in headline news. Bradley County's Long-Term Recovery Organization has hired a full-time case manager. The LTRO has selected Cleveland native Lisa Mantooth for that post. Lisa is a former executive director of the Hiawassee chapter of the American Red Cross and has experience in case management. She begins her duties today. The Tennessee General Assembly has proclaimed today as Dr. Paul Kahn Day in Tennessee. Dr. Kahn celebrating his 25th anniversary as president of Lee University today. Under his tenure, it has grown from about 25 acres to more than 120 acres in the 25 years. After 40 years of use without significant upgrades, the science classrooms at Cleveland High School will celebrate some significant upgrades tomorrow. The PTO-led initiative to build a science wing is finally ready for students. An official dedication for the science wing, that's the Max Carroll Science Wing, will be held Tuesday, tomorrow at 7 p.m. The public is invited, by the way. Motorists who travel Candy's Lane each day must find a new route this week. Crews with Cleveland Utilities will close Candy's Lane between Inverness Drive and Rolling Hills Drive beginning at 8 a.m. today. It'll be closed through Friday. They're installing a new sewer system. Tennessee's First Lady Chrissy Haslam will help United Way of Bradley County officially kick off its annual campaign. On August 23rd, that campaign kickoff luncheon will be held at the Peerless Road Church of God of Prophecy for the third consecutive year. Get your tickets through United Way. That's your headlines. Let's look at the weather forecast, see what it looks like today. Mostly sunny through Wednesday. A high today about 93, turning hotter through Wednesday, near 100 degrees as you can see there, but the temperature today is going to feel like probably 100 already, especially with the humidity, and it's now 77 warm, humid, muggy degrees on this Monday as we begin the week. And we're kicking the week off pretty good. We just spoke to our guest, Brigitte Ufele. You notice I got the "oo" out there.
Got it right.
I got it right. I hope she was listening. Brigitte Ufele telling us about the Montessori School. And we have a new guest, someone who I don't believe, Mark, you've been here before, have you?
Never have been here
Mark
before.
Rogers is, well, he wears as about as many hats as Brigitte.
He does.
He's the president of Rotary Club, the Sunrise Rotary.
Sunrise.
The
real Rotary Club.
The real Rotary Club. And I noticed, I used to be a member of the Noonday Rotary. And I noticed you're even wearing your shirt with the Rotary emblem on it. And
well,
you
that's
said
because
that's so
Cheryl was sergeant, and she fines me if I don't. So.
I knew that she was a little militaristic there. So she's the sergeant of arms,
right,
for the Sunrise Rotary Club.
Right. She
So
extracts money from us when we don't.
She collects. I know about the sergeant of arms. I've paid many a fine at the Rotary Club. I sure have. So if you hadn't shown up today with the emblem on your shirt, you could have gotten fined.
That's right.
at the next Rotary meeting.
And she would have smiled as she fined me.
I'm sure she would. Are you guilty of doing those?
He's stretching the truth a little
Is
bit.
he really? Well, Mark is also an author, and that's another hat he wears. You're also a motivational speaker, and probably things that we don't even know about that you do. You have many talents. So we're here to, first of all, to talk about your book. The title intrigues me, and Cheryl was telling me about it, The Power of No. And that's N-O, not K-N-O-W.
Right.
The Power of No. Talk about the concept. What motivated you to write a book about that, Mark?
Well, it started out years ago. I was asked to do a sales seminar, and I'd never done one.
Wow.
And I come to one conclusion. What causes salespeople to fail is maybes, because they're lying to themselves. Well, this may work out. That you got to get people to say no, because you're going to have more no's in your life than yeses. So from that, I walk through, in most things in your life, we're so excited about Wacker and Volkswagen and those companies coming here in Amazon. But they said no to the rest of the world to get here.
Ooh.
Well, they were
Hadn't
hundreds
thought
of
of
no's.
that.
Yeah, hundreds of no's to get to one yes. If you'll look at your major decisions in life, what happens? We can all go, you want to be on that committee? Yes, I'll do it. And that's what destroys us. When we make a yes, okay, there's a surrounding of no's. Great example is Michael Jordan, okay?
Yeah.
Talented. No one doubts his talent in basketball. He didn't lose any of his skill sets when he went to baseball. It wasn't the correct skill sets. So you have to learn to say no to what's almost your skill sets. Most people, when they're not happy in a job, what's their problem? They're really not using their skill sets. Or they don't have the passion. Or third, it's not profitable. And if one of those three is a no, you got to say no.
Yeah.
So my life, when I failed, when I've been on the ground, you know, down for the count, I said, you know, I should have said no to that. I should have said no. Because when we think of like a motivational speaker, motivation is sort of a lie. You cannot motivate somebody unless it's what they really want internally. Jim Collins, in his book, Good to Great, talks about this. A lot of times I'll go into a place and they think I can resurrect the dead. And the most loving thing you can do to certain employees is to say, no, this isn't right for you.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, no one questions his skills, but baseball was a no.
Yeah.
Okay? And in the companies, we feel bad. We're always told, well, we got to love you, we got to like you. No. People have to do what's best and what their talent skills are. And the way the power of no come about was you've got to learn to say no in a very loving way, and it's the most loving and positive word you'll ever say. And we do this with children all the time. They did a survey where they put children with a fence in a backyard, and then they gave another group with no fence. The children with the fence were happier and most successful.
Because they had the parameters, they knew what the boundaries were.
Right.
Well, I guess we all want to know what the boundaries are, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And when I thought about having Mark on as a guest, I thought about, he did a real quick 20-minute program for our Rotary Club on the power of no. And what he did is he teamed us all up with different people in one-on-one with other club members. And we had to graciously say no to the request that was asked of us, and why we said no. And it was fun, but it planted a seed in my mind that I say yes to way too many things.
Oh, I do too.
And when I should be saying no so that I can say yes to what's
important.
What's important, what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And I came out of that 20-minute mini training session and I thought, you know, I need to learn to say no, and I did. And I was able then to say yes. And you know, Dan, one of my great passions is Rotary. I love my Rotary Club. I mean, and I was able to put more of myself into Rotary and less of myself into things that I really just wasn't that enthusiastic about. I was just trying to be the good, you know, corporate citizen. I'll help you, and when I should have said no.
Yeah, you know, this has brought back many memories of my own existence. of course, in the position that I serve in, I get asked to do a lot of things, serve on committees, go to meetings, and you hate to say no.
But you have to.
And you find yourself, I find myself sometimes going in circles and going home at night just exhausted. So I guess saying no would even help with our physical.
It helps. I think Mark can attest to this. It not only helps us in our professional world, but that bleeds off and feeds off into our personal worlds, and whether it be church, whether it, with our family, with our friends, with our civic involvement. And Mark's got this great seminar coming up that's geared towards business professionals, but I think other people, even if you're not in business, will learn that if you can say no to things that you're not passionate about, you can say yes to things that you'll be successful at.
Yeah, a good example would be like the golfer who says, you know, I've got $20,000 worth of clubs, I've golfed every weekend, and I have 4 ex-wives to prove that I've dedicated and loved golf. You know, sometimes you got to say no and get your priorities right. We just had a young executive in our club. He had to step back for a while.
Yeah.
And I always admired the guy, but my opinion of him went from here to here because he said, you know what? And he didn't use the word no. He said, I've got to step back and reprioritize.
Yeah.
And if in the beginning you say, this is my core, this is what matters, and my core takes me to here, okay? Everything that gets in your way, okay, you've got to say no to it. Because Bill Belichick, no one says he's a motivator, no one says he's got a great personality at coaches, you know, the Patriots, but everybody says he's a great coach. What does he do? He finds the right people at the right place at the right time, and he leads them, and nothing gets in his way. There's the blinders on. We expect that out of our coaches, but in our own lives, we're like, well, maybe I can do this, and maybe I can do that. And you're really hurting other people because if that's not my skill set, and she's got the skill sets, and I start doing that job, I'm letting people down because they're not getting excellence, and she's not being used in her main capacity. So my system, from the book is a novel, and it's just a fun way of walking through this process. But most people just do not know how to say no because we're taught, yes. And most of us have had car payments or timeshare payments or some type of payment in our life where we said, gosh, I should have said no. Have you ever had something in your life?
Yeah. I can think 2 or 3 right now. In fact, it's going through my brain. We're going to come back in just a moment. We've got to take a break real quick. We're going to continue this conversation and find some of maybe some techniques of saying no, and also talk about the seminar coming up and how they can attend as well. It's 7:18. Don't go away. This is an interesting conversation. I wanted to talk about it a little more. Don't go away.
Volunteer Ridipest LLC has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding areas for over 40 years. Their qualified, experienced technicians are trained in all the latest techniques to keep your home pest-free. Volunteer Ridipest LLC offers Mosquito Guard, which keeps mosquitoes out of your yard and out of your life. Their monthly and quarterly treatments are backed by their 100% money-back guarantee. For all your pest removal needs, call Volunteer Ridipest LLC today at 423-472-7736.
Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland, is your #1 Dodge Chrysler and Jeep dealer in this area. Stop by and see the brand new 2011 Chrysler 200. The 200 is essentially a new nameplate with a significant facelift to the outgoing 2010 Chrysler Sebring. A beautiful vehicle at an unbeatable price. And while you're there, check out the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the newly designed Dodge Durango. Redesigned, revamped, and reinvigorated. Yes, the Dodge Durango is back, bigger and better than ever. Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep offers a complete parts and service department with qualified service technicians to fix and repair your vehicle. So for your next brand new or pre-owned vehicle, make it Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland.
How would you like to look and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Anti-Aging, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. He is a licensed physician with the Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, offering affordable Botox injections. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. In addition to Botox therapy, rejuvenate and smooth wrinkled skin with a Skin Micro Laser Peel. The Micro Laser Peel treats skin conditions associated with aging and active lifestyles. If you're looking for safe and affordable anti-aging treatment, call the Ford Center for Anti-Aging at 423-614-0535, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest.
Now's your chance to showcase your small business products or services. The Be Your Own Boss Expo is coming to Bradley Square Mall in Cleveland, Tennessee on Saturday, September the 17th. This expo will provide you with networking opportunities and services to help you grow your small business. Vendors will be able to connect with hundreds of potential clients without the high expense of advertising. If you own a small business in or around Cleveland, Tennessee, you do not want to miss this event. For more information, visit byobexpo.net or call 865-368-1095.
I'm Dr. James Markham, host of the television program Heart of Health, seen right here on WTNB television. Thursday at 7 o'clock, Friday at 8 a.m., or Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
But that's the whole thing, is that we're brought up to nothing.
Talking to Mark Rogers, we're having a great conversation during the break here, talking about the power of no, talking about how liberating it is when you can learn to say no, and how it frees up the person who's asking for the favor to go on and move on to something else. It is 7:22, and we're going to continue our conversation with Mark Rogers. By the way, his book is The Power of No, and he's got a seminar coming up where you can learn how to say no. And tell us, before we get into the conversation again, where's the seminar?
Friday the 12th at the Fairfield Marriott.
Okay.
Scott Taylor's general manager, good friend of mine. And it'll be from 8 to 12 in the morning on Friday. You'll have a lot of fun, but you learn a lot. Anytime you do anything with me, any seminars, there's a guarantee. So if it stinks, you get your money back. So you can tell me no, and I'll hand you your money back.
And how can they register or sign up?
They can go to, we had to switch our website, so we have a powerofno101.com that they can go to, or they can call me at 423-310-3118. I have another phone number, but that phone number, I got a little crazy message on it. I'm going to switch. I like to have fun. So.
Powerofno101.com. Check out that website, and you will enjoy that. But give us some ideas how to say no.
Well, okay, Dan, I'm going to show you. Passionate. You're good now. You're going to be a basketball coach. We're going to change it. Okay. You've quit everything. You've said no to everything. There's nothing left in your life, and you are coaching juvenile delinquents. Not only juvenile delinquents.
No.
These guys
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
These guys are on lockdown. Some of them murderers, some of them. But you are excited. It's a calling.
Okay.
And you love Cheryl. You respect her.
Yeah.
So you're going to ask her to be your assistant coach for this, and she's just going to have to give up her job to help out with it. And there's guards to shoot and lock them down if they attack her. So you're going to come ask her. Now, the principle is real simple. Can y'all two do this? Kiss. Come on, make a kiss. Come on. Okay. No.
No.
Kiss. Okay. That's a simple principle, and it'll help you remember.
Really?
But what you're doing is, when you ask Cheryl to do this, it's because you respect her and you think a lot of her. You're not asking her because you're mad. So the first thing she does is acknowledge you and thanks you that you respected her.
And that's the kiss. That's demonstrated.
That's the kiss.
Yeah.
But when you say no, you don't add to it, or you don't. How many times have you heard, "Oh, I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to do this." And
I've done all that.
Yeah. If somebody just says no, they help you out. Okay. And then the third kiss, or the second kiss, is they bring you back up and say, but I appreciate you and talk a little about you, because the most important person in the world to everybody is me. Right. So the kiss is, the first thing is she's going to go how much she feels respected that you ask her. She's going to say no, and then she's going to make you feel okay about it. So now, let's do the role play, Dan. You've quit everything. You didn't say no. You're just basketball coach. You're needing a top assistant. Okay. Ask her to get these.
I've got this great opportunity. It'll be wonderful to have your assistance. I wonder if you would join me in this challenge of helping these wonderful juvenile delinquents learn how to play basketball.
Oh, Dan, thank you so much. No. I really respect your talents as a coach, and I think you'll do wonderful on the basketball court as long as you've got those guards watching your back. But no.
Oh. But that little technique, okay? It's a firm no.
Yeah, it is a firm no.
It's not in between. In his book about what they don't teach at Harvard Business School, McCormick says the #1 time waster is people not telling you no.
Oh.
So this just told you no. Well, what has it done for you? I mean, we use a silly situation to make it fun. It allows you to move on.
Yeah, it's liberating, actually.
Yeah. But now, if she'd have said, you see, if you don't mean, I went, well, Dan, and I'm sitting in my mind, how do I get out of this? I said, well, you know, Dan, I got to talk to my wife, and I got 6 other, but I'll get back to you tomorrow.
How many times have I heard that? How many times have I done that myself? Well, let me think about it. You know, I need to talk to some people.
I need to pray about
it. Well, maybe. I've even used that excuse. You know, I need to pray about it. I need to think about it for a couple of days. And you're just stringing this person along. Had she responded that way, I'd have been in limbo for maybe a week.
Yeah.
And then she sits around going,
how do I avoid his phone call?
Yeah. So what? We've all done it. So now she's losing productive time.
Yeah.
And you're losing productive time.
Right. How do I avoid his phone call? Hoping that he won't call back.
When I see caller ID, it's Dan Howell from the county mayor's office. Oh no, he wants me to be the coach.
You know, I'm guilty of all of that. I'm sure most people watching have done that at some point in their life. They've just not learned to say no, and I hadn't thought really about the power of no, but it really is empowering, isn't it?
It is.
It's empowering in it's love. You know, and I tell people this, the reason we're sitting here and we're going to leave here and go to work is because we ought to kick Adam in the butt because he didn't say no. All he had to do was say no to that stupid piece of fruit and we'd be in paradise, you know. All our problems started by a guy not saying no.
You know, we still have that same problem. We can't say no to a woman. It seems like, you know, they flash those eyes lids at us and they smile and we're just like putty in their hands and we can't say no.
Well, you know, and I've had that problem. I like to help a young woman in distress. And I was in an airport one day and saw this lady and she had her wedding ring on the wrong finger. And me being, you know, gracious, I wanted to help her out and I said, honey, don't you understand that you got your ring finger on the wrong finger? She says, oh no, I married the wrong man. Again, you know, no work.
That is too funny.
But as I get back to the no, there's all type of things in business decisions that you make, and there's 7. I come up with 7 major no's that you have to do. First one is distractions. Right. Okay. We've all got things that distract us. This little role play we did, what would have happened if she hadn't said no?
Yeah.
You would have been distracted in your mind.
We got a minute.
All right. Circumstances. Okay. Shortcuts. You got pride. You got procrastination. Yesterday and tomorrow. You got to learn to say no to those 7 things.
Oh, I'm guilty of all of the above. How can we find your book, Mark?
It's when you do the seminar. That's going to be my first day of publication. You can get the book at the seminar. Fantastic. And you can pre-order online at PowerSpeak. Okay. 101, not PowerSpeak, that's my other one, Power of No 101.
PowerofNo101.com. You got to check that website out. This has been fun.
Yeah.
I've learned how to say no, I think. We'll find out as the day progresses. We'll maybe get an update. Maybe we'll go to 102 next time out. Mark Rogers, thanks so much for coming in. I'm glad you said yes to Cheryl to come in this morning because it was a lot of fun.
Well, that's just because I don't want to be fined. You know, I got to keep her happy.
I understand about Rotary, I really do. We're out of time. Thanks so much for joining us. You've been watching the Tennessee Valley this morning. See you next time.